I said which young point guard would have the better bounce back season, and it's overwhelming. 275 votes for this poll. LaMelo got 77% of the votes.
Mm,
So
mm.
I just wanted to get. I don't because Ja Morant is older than LaMelo Ball, but they both
Yeah.
are still young. And I put Tyrese Halliburton in the same tier, where
Mm-hmm.
it's like these point guards are looked at as the guys, but they are also the top passers. Because I think Ja Morant, we talk about his flashy dunks, we talk about his speed and all that, him going downhill, but he's always a top 5 assist guy. LaMelo is a top tier assist guy. So the
Yeah.
combination of scoring and passing and being young electric guards, I think Ja Morant has shot up in terms of stardom because we did get to see him in the playoffs. He made an All NBA team. But LaMelo, man, 24 points a game, Ja 25, and they both around 8 assists. LaMelo averaged more rebounds. It's a lot closer than people think statistically. Both won Rookie of the Year, both All Star. Only thing Ja Morant has over LaMelo really is an All NBA in a playoff appearance. So I
Exactly.
just wanted to get your opinion. What do you think about the poll and that people think LaMelo will have a better bounce back season than Ja? Did that surprise you at all?
It did surprise me a little bit. Just because I thought most people would lean towards Ja because he's done more and he was Lamelo's a very popular player, but Ja's pretty popular as well. He has a big following, big fan base as well, and he's been pushed by the league a lot as well, up until his recent incidents. So I thought more people because of that, more people would lean towards Ja Morant for that reason. Um, and people like Ja's play style. You get the flashy dunks, you get the he's a very underrated passer. A lot of people sleep on that part of his game, but he is a great he's a great passer, a great facilitator for Memphis. So it did surprise me that overwhelmingly by 70% of it was going to Lamelo. If you think about it, Lamelo has had a lot of hype um, for a long time, and he's had a large following for a long time. So of course
Yeah,
people will
yeah.
believe in him. People always have that belief in Lamelo, in his ability to do stuff, but they always say, "Oh, it's this, oh, it's that, oh, it's." So Lamelo Ball, I do agree with the. I chose Lamelo. I do agree with the poll. I think, and this is just me because I think Lamelo Ball is a very, 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 you know, talented player, and there's a lot more potential to go, even um, uh, to grow on top of what he's already shown, which is a lot. He's just plagued by injuries a little bit, and he's taking the proper steps, I guess, to fix that. Gonna wear ankle braces this season. We'll see how that goes. See if it prevents him from getting his ankles torn again. But I think the sky's the limit for Lamelo as far as, and then he's finally getting a little more help around him. The difference between them, Ja has played with a lot more talent than Lamelo
Yeah.
has.
Yeah. Um, it's interesting because you said you was talking about LaMelo's following, how he's had it for so long. I'll never forget because I'm big into high school basketball.
Mm-hmm.
When Lonzo was coming up, I was always hearing about Lonzo. It was like he's the next Jason Kidd,
Mm-hmm.
this and that, this and that. So I randomly watched some Chino Hills,
Yep.
and what stood out to me most wasn't even Lonzo, even though he had a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Leangelo had a good game. He had a strap. But when LaMelo got into the game, it was just like, and I wasn't the only one. It was a lot of people. It was like, oh yeah, he definitely gonna be the best after three. It's
Mm-hmm.
like he always had just a unique approach to the game. It was very natural. Like he's a
Mm-hmm.
natural basketball player, bro. And it's
Yeah.
like you see the special, you see the spark. And I think the general public that's watched LaMelo and follow LaMelo, I think they value him more than the NBA does. Because it's no way. LaMelo is 22 years old, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
He's 22.
That's
Like
great.
but I think the injuries has kind of hampered that.
Yeah.
But I say it all the time, bro. Like people talk crazy, whatever. But what he did to the Celtics on November 20th when he had 36, 9, and 8. Bro,
Let
Drew,
him know.
I was watching it yesterday. Drew Holiday couldn't do nothing with him, bro. He's 6'7", 6'8", bro. And I just think, like you said, the sky's the limit. And honestly, I wouldn't take no point guard under 25 before I take LaMelo Ball, bro. That's just me
Wow.
keeping it a book. If he
Wow.
stays healthy. Because I think on the other side of this, I guess people assume Ja Morant, Tyrese Halliburton stay more healthy than LaMelo. Them dudes is hurt all the time too.
You ain't lying.
So I just thought it was interesting. I did not expect it from the poll. Ja, I think Ja has a cap to his ceiling just because he can't shoot, and it
Mm,
looks bad. Like it's a bad looking shot too.
mm.
Because we
Well,
praise him what he did against the Pelicans on TNT. I thought that was a setup, but his comeback game where he hit that game winning all that, his jumper just it's a little mid. So I just think it's interesting. I definitely think fully healthy, like you said, LaMelo, his supporting cast is better,
mm-hmm.
and I, I think I'm gonna go out on a limb here, bro. I think LaMelo is gonna fight for. I don't even want to say it, but he gonna be close to all NBA level, bro. He
Wow.
really is, man. I think he's better than Halliburton. I honestly think he's better than Ja Morant. I think he's a better basketball player. I think Tyrese Halliburton is more reliable in
Mm,
terms of just like he's not go color outside the lines like LaMelo. LaMelo, he all outside the lines. He all cussing all in his interviews, and he really don't have no filter. He play around a lot. But in terms of
mm-hmm.
just natural skills and abilities, and then the size, the shooting, like the rebound, give me LaMelo, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Would you take him over Halliburton? You personally?
Me personally, yeah, I would definitely take Lamelo over Halliburton.
Would you take him over Ja?
That's hard to say. I like Lamelo a lot, but Ja has
He's about
kind of
3 years
proven,
younger.
yeah, he's whole. Say what?
He's almost 3 years younger.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
true,
saying.
man. Like Ja is alright, but Ja has done things in this league.
What? Like what?
Dude, he's been on a playoff. He's been in a playoff run. He's been All NBA. He's been Most Improved after being Rookie of the Year. Like he's added to his resume. Does he get hurt? Yes, but when he's on the court, Ja is a finishing around the rim. Ja's up there with the best of them in that.
Man, that's cool. But LaMelo give me your 24, 8, and 5. He can actually shoot the basketball. I think he's a better, more natural passer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Ja
Why?
give me 25, 8, and 6. But that 28% from three is just in that career 32%. It's the shooting. Like I can't a point guard, especially a smaller point guard. For me with LaMelo versus Ja, it's the size that
Yeah.
helps, especially with the defense, the rebounding, and the shooting. That's a lot of checks going in that LaMelo box for me against Ja, bro.
Well, I mean, Ja has improved his shooting. So, and I know you were talking about his shot. Lamelo didn't have the most perfect shot either coming into the league.
Coming into the league, but bro, we knew LaMelo could shoot in high school. Well, when he was with the Illawarra Hawks, wherever the hell that was at, like, man, come on, man. I ain't really taking that into consideration. He could shoot in high school, and he ever since he got to the league, he could shoot here. So I, I don't know, man. I think LaMelo might have an All NBA season in him, and because you remember when I was hyping up Paolo and all that, and why
Mm-hmm.
I did it, because when you do it against the Celtics, a team that, because we say what we want about Tatum, I'm like, how it is with Tatum, but the Celtics go do one thing and one thing for sure. They go come to play. They don't
Oh
take
yeah.
no games off. They won 66 games. They lost 16 games. One of them was to Lamelo in the healthy version of the Hornets. That was only one of the only few times that the Hornets was even healthy. I know people go, oh, it's one game. We said that about the Magic last year, the year before last, when they was beating up on the Celtics. And then what they do the year after? They made the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's little nuggets you get from the regular season. That's why I pay close attention to the regular season, because it might not say nothing too much about this year, but it might say something about the years to come. And I think a healthy Hornets team, because Mark Williams didn't play a lot. Miles Bridges just had got back. Lamelo was out the lineup. But when they all played in one of those games, I don't even know how many games they all played together, to be honest. But I know for a fact when they was all there and they played the Celtics, they beat them. And the Celtics was trying. Like, it wasn't one of them games where it's like they was bull. They was going at it, bro. And LaMelo, like I said, he was cooking Drew Holiday, man. So that's just why I thought it was interesting. I think LaMelo has as much potential as any point guard in the NBA coming up. The way I feel about Paolo is the way I feel about LaMelo. But yeah.
Only different. I get you. Only difference is, Paolo's played more. So when we get LaMelo playing more, and hopefully this is the year that happens, you may be proving a lot of people right. You may be proved right, So.
Yep. Chris, what's up with it, man?
Man, shit, still out here moving around. But heard this LaMelo blasphemy. No, I'm playing.
I was going to be ready to hear it.
Huh?
I said I was going to be ready to hear your take. Because, hey, bro, I take LaMelo over all of them. I ain't going to lie.
I'm not. I'm sorry. Injuries is a part of it, and I have to factor all that in.
They get hurt just as much. Tyrese Halliburton and Josh hurt just as much as LaMelo.
You said what?
LaMelo.
They get hurt just as much as LaMelo.
Who, Halliburton?
The one time LaMelo played 75 games, he was an all-star. John Morant has never played that many games.
I mean, look, I don't be trying to shit on LaMelo, man, but y'all, again, he was an all-star reserve, man. It's on his resume, but I'm not. Like I said, I don't be trying to kill him. I really don't, but it's like he was a reserve. Now, if he was somebody that was like, he was picked to be on that motherfucker, then I ain't gonna take nothing from you. But I can't hold too much if you was just a nigga that was there just in case this nigga didn't show up.
A second-year all-star, I get it's a reserve. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's the only
like
thing
Bradley
is.
Beal. It ain't like your 7th year and you finally making an all-star.
No, but again, I'd have respected it more if he was actually voted to be on that motherfucker and not just somebody they had as a backup in case somebody couldn't play. Because they got multiple of those. It ain't like he was the only one. It's like they just picked him. Like again, I don't be trying to kill the nigga, but it's like that's just what it is. It ain't like he was the only backup nigga they had.
Found some shit I love to do, so I can look comfortable. Searching for a peace of mind, need that when it's time to rhyme. Perfect in every line, any chance I get, and I know it takes time, but I will never quit.